Hi, I'm Deborah Yao, the editor of AI Business, and I'm very pleased to welcome Kanika Narang, who is a senior AI researcher at Meta. Welcome, Kanika.
Thanks, Deborah. Glad to be here.
So AI is really blowing up, generative AI in particular, and we're so thrilled to see that Meta has really thrown its hat into the ring, especially with generative AI. You have a front seat to that because you're working on large language models. So can you talk to me a little bit about what went into the development of Llama and Llama 2?
Sure. Llama 2 is our most recent model, which has been open sourced and is available for enterprises. It's actually 40% bigger than Llama 1, but we do offer it in like multiple sizes, like 7 billion, 13 billion, and 30 billion. It's trained on like 2 trillion tokens during pre-training, and it has a larger context length. And it actually does much better than a lot of other models out there on external data sets. So it's an amazing model for people to try out for their applications.
Okay. So when people are out there choosing a large language model, what factors should they consider?
Yeah, I think it's a very important question because there are a lot of models out there, and I think some of the important factors are, of course, performance. That depending on whatever your use case, you want to make sure that the model performs well on your metrics. Then also there is latency, and generally there's like a trade-off between performance and latency because the larger the model, it's more better, but it also takes more time to do inference. Again, cost, which is again related to latency. And then some of the other things which I want to highlight is also safety. Most of the models are actually used by end users. So you have to make sure that these modern generations are safe, they are just, and they're diverse. Also reliability, they're reliable, and some of the times these results are also interpretable. So yeah, a lot of factors which go in to check out what exactly suits your needs.
So Meta has been out there being very vocal about open source and being supportive of that. Why did Meta decide to go open source when the other tech giants are closed,
Yeah, I think Meta has always believed in democratizing AI, be it the PyTorch initiative. So I think with Llama models, I feel like it's an important way to give this power to the whole industry, because a lot of times these enterprises have the computational resources to pre-train them, but not smaller enterprises. So it helps them to use these advances for their applications, and also for developers to figure out, if there are any loopholes, or there are any safety concerns or other concerns which can help improve the model better. So it's a win-win for everybody. And I think that's why Meta has decided to open source these models.
So how do you make sure, when you're choosing an LLM, that it is safe? Like what outputs do you look for, or what parameters, or what factors?
So yeah, there are multiple benchmarks or tools out there, and there are also some metrics which you can use. For instance, and so there's some initiatives which, for example, Meta is also doing to make sure that these models are safer. So there are pillars like fairness. There are also pillars like depending on if these model generations are actually diverse. So, instance, if you ask the model to generate an image of a secretary, does it always generate an image of a woman, or and probably a blonde woman? So that means it's actually biased. So those kind of scenarios you need to come up with for your use case to make sure that these results are actually follow some of those principles.
So in your presentation earlier at the AI Summit New York, and thank you for doing that, it was very well attended. So you talked about multimodality for LLMs as the next stage, right?
Yeah.
So tell me how much of a game changer that is compared to just text-based or LLMs.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting avenue for the space because you have the ability to also interact more holistically with say whatever you're looking at, your videos, even it can take in like sensory data, your GPS data. So that it makes the LLMs more advanced, more intelligent, and makes your interaction with them more intuitive. We are also rolling out like a multimodal assistant, as I said in the presentation, in smart glasses, and I feel like that's a very important step in this area.
So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me.